I go all day, never a problem. I go do a video, and now everything happens. Door, dog, noise, something. Hello, hello, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Filipino Adventures. Today I want to talk about banks and banking systems and what's going on in the Philippines as far as banks. As you know, we know what's going on in the States where some banks are failing, and I'm sure there's going to be more. It's life, and we understand what that is because loans, bad loans, loans in general sometimes go sour. Intentions are in good faith in the beginning, and then things happen, and under just unforeseen circumstances, you're not able to pay the loan back. And I've even had situations where I had a loan or a line of credit, and paying that back sometimes can be kind of frustrating and not having the money. Banking here seems to be fine. Banking here in the Philippines seems to be on a good even key, meaning that you could actually borrow money if you need to borrow money. But as far as foreigner borrowing money, it's only maybe up to $1,000 or $2,000. You have to really sign the bank away to get $1,000. I mean, really, it's a lot of work to get $1,000 here. But if you're in a situation like that where you need to borrow, you can do it. You borrow what they call street money from Turkish and the Koreans, and you really want to pay that back. If you borrow here in the Philippines, you really want to pay those guys back. You don't want them come knocking at the door later on for their money. And what they do, they come by and pick up the money daily. It's a daily thing. They come pick up the money, and anywhere from $2, $3, $4, $5, you have to pay interest rate on that money, depending up to $10, maybe $20 a day. And they'll come by to pick it up too. And you don't pay it, you'll have them. They'll be back at night. They'll be about 3 in the morning if they have to. They'll get their money. So you don't want to be in that instance. But banking here is fine as far as putting your money here in the Philippines. Now, personally, that's a big option. That's a big question. People say, well, I really don't have any problems. I've been putting my money in here since World War II. I never really had any problems. I've been doing it for years. Banking system, BPI, BDO, all seem to be fine. PNB seem to be fine. I don't have any problems. But then, all of a sudden, something happens. They take their money. A guy just lost $10,000 about a month ago. The bank just took it. There's inactivity on the account. You have to show activity so many times a month. You don't do it, they'll take the money out of the account. Don't know why they do it that way. It just happens that way. Now, can you get your money back? He's still fighting to get his $10,000 back. Now, did you trust the banks? Yeah, you can trust the banks. But honestly, for me personally, do I trust the banks? No. It took me forever and ever and ever to get my money back on that card. They actually took my card from the bank for whatever reason, no reason, and took the money out of my account. It took me forever to get that money back. Even when they said they gave it back, put it in my account, it was shown in my account and it was taken out the next day. It's a long story. But I did eventually get my money back, and it's stable where they're not touching it and pinging it all the time. The thing of it is that bothers me is you never, ever, ever, you have to always double check everything when you live outside the United States, just like you do in the States. If you're expecting to get a check on a Friday and don't arrive on a Friday that it normally does, you're on the phone to the company and you're saying, why didn't I get paid? And that's happened to me also, where they didn't pay me or they had problems, or hey, you don't worry, you'll get it next week. Well, no, I need it today. So don't find yourself in a situation, if you need the money that quick, make sure you save $300, $400, $500 back off your last check or have dip into savings. We sometimes don't realize that we're outside the United States. They don't operate like they do in the States. There's not like a call center. You can pick up the phone, you can call them, and they're going to help you. Each branch manager is his own boss, meaning they can make their own local decisions. If they say at the main branch, you must have an SRRB or permanent residency to get a bank account to open up account, the branch manager can say, oh, you're on a tourist visa? Okay, I can open up the account. Each area is different depending on where you can go. And it does happen. But banking itself is good. It seems to be good. I personally don't trust it because a lot of guys don't have too many problems, but it's that one time. It's that 2 times. At least I know when the check's deposited in my bank in U.S., I have 2 banks in the U.S. At least I know that I can get it there and I can get it. Now, and it is insured, just like it is insured here. But the insurance here is up to $10,000, 500,000 peso, and it's up to $10,000. But if you have 15 or 20, they're only going to insure that $10,000. Now, banking too is, it's like you put money in the account and you can gain access to that money, but sometimes ATMs themselves here will give you a little fit on getting the money. And Ruth has an account at Land Bank. She has an account at BDO. Those are the accounts, and she has those accounts. I have no accounts here other than those accounts that she's on. I don't want to sign for it. It's hers. It's her accounts. And I slot money for her to put that in every month for her personally, and she wants to do anything with it. Like I just gave her $40 to put in an account just so she can have access to it and need it. And you're in town, you need 5,000 peso, you can grab out of that account. She wants to, so she can. It's about feeling good about life and feeling good about what's going on. All people need that, male and female both. Now, banking itself is something, as far as borrowing money here, I would be questioning about borrowing money. Loaning money to your family is another big thing that's a big factor here. Would you loan money to the family? There's going to be times where they're going to come to you and ask you for money. And yes, I have loaned money to the family, and they have loaned me money also. They have decided to give me money whenever I asked them, because Western Union stopped the remittance. Here they just kind of blackballed the whole country. Anybody who wanted Western Union at one time, you could not get it. They stopped everybody. And this was about 4 or 5 years ago. You could not send or do anything for about, 15, 20 days. Because of what's going on in Marawi, there's a bunch of things going on during that time, and you couldn't really send or receive money here. Now, they opened that back up, but I don't use any of those centers anymore because me and a lot of the guys are what they call blacklisted on that. And me and Bud Brown, Chris Britt, there's a bunch of us that you cannot actually send or receive money. But that's not a problem because I have my credit cards. I can gain access to that. And if I have a problem with that, I do have another source of gaining money. I have 2, 3 sources. I've always been a fan of having 2, 3, 4 sources of income, because if you don't, you're going to find yourself with no money and not be able to feed your family, and you don't have that money coming in. At least I have access to 2, 3 sources or 4 sources that I actually pull that money out of, even if it's just $500, and that will sustain you until. A lot of times too, what happens, people don't realize that when you loan family money, sometimes they may not pay back on time, and it's going to cause ill will. You're going to be upset. They're going to be upset. You're going to question where the money is. You're going to have your wife ask, well, where's the money at, and what's going on with the money. And then the sister, or brother-in-law, or aunt, or uncle, whoever borrowed the money, or cousin, they're going to say, well, I don't have it, and so they lose face. And when they lose face, they don't want to see you, and they don't want to come around anymore. And then you never get the money anyway. So plan this. If you loan out money in the Philippines, plan on not getting it back at all. Just plan on getting it back at all. If you plan, or you could give a guy $1,000, it's a gift. See ya. Because most of the time, I would say, in my experience, for me, 90% of the time, except for Ruth's one sister, they have a hard time paying it back. $1,000 peso they can't pay back. So if you want to gift it to them, here's 1,000, here's 2,000 peso, which I've done many a times. I've given $100. I've given $150, $200. I've given these multiple people different times to help them sustain their life and help take care of the medical bills, to help feed them, and whatever else needed to be done. Should I have done it? Yes, because it's her family. But my responsibility is Ruth, RR, and her mother. That's it. And I told her that from the beginning. I'm only responsible for you, RR, and your mother. I'm not responsible for anybody else. They can go find a job and they can go do their thing. But her mother cannot. She's retired. She never did work. But anyway, she's her mother. Okay? And I feel like this is my responsibility to take care of her mother. But then on the other hand, sometimes people want to borrow money. They see that you may have bought new clothes or new shoes, so they want to borrow money to go do the same. And what happens with that is it causes ill will. It just causes ill will. If you give them money, you better just plan on just giving it to them and not getting it back, because it will frustrate you to death. It'll make you angry and them angry, and then they lose face and they get angry at you because you're angry at them for that not paying you back. Let me borrow money. Borrow money means let you borrow it to give it back. Well, no such thing of that here in the Philippines. There ain't no such thing as borrowing money. If you give out money, it's gone. If you say, same thing with banking. You put money in that bank, you better pray and hope that branch manager is honest and secure and everything else, and that someone don't grab it and take it, because it's happened so many times. I can't tell you the amount of people that's actually written me and told me, and all the problems they've had with their money has been taken from them because of the bank. Filipino expats, all foreigners. I have a friend, his name's Jay, okay? Came here, married Filipina, put money in the bank, open up an account, put money in there. They have money. He works all over he's in the United States working now. And then he's back in Iraq, and then he's over here in Dubai, and he's in Saudi, and next thing you know he's in Brazil, next thing he's back in the States working. Goes to get the money out of the bank, there's no money in the bank, and he put $10,000 in the bank. Well, where's the money they put in from the wedding? There's $10,000. Well, they couldn't find it. They looked for it to come find out it had been taken out months ago. Well, where's the money? No. You gonna look for it? No, I don't know. Well, guess what? He ended up losing the money. It's gone. Ruth used credit card one time. Get the money out of the bank. Took the card and my money. You don't want to know what I had to go through to get my $400 back. You don't want to know what I had to go through to get the $400 back. Normally I go to the States and say, hey, you took it out of the machine. Here's the problem. Oh yeah, I see it, sir. Here's your $400. Get it out in an hour. An hour was just standing outside before getting in the bank. Because it's supposed to open at 9, didn't open till 10. And then you get in the bank, then you're standing there and you're waiting. So you can't sit there. You got to sit over here. Okay, so I sit in the spot. So you're waiting. You're waiting. So, period of time goes by. Long period of time for me. I get up to the window and says, hey, this happened. I don't understand English. Ruth, get up here. Hammer. Then Ruth, they got confused, and there was turmoil. After about an hour or so, we'll get it all figured out, worked out. Okay, we'll get you your money. 1 week goes by, 2 weeks go by, 3 weeks go by. I got my money. Deposit back in my account. Okay, fine and dandy. Go back in their account again, minus $400. You took it back? Go back or go down to the bank again. They took it back out again. Well, why? I don't know. Okay, well. So I had to contact my bank that any money comes out of this particular bank from now on, ban it. Ban it. I'll never use that ATM. I'll never go to that bank ever again. Ban it. She said somebody pinged it this morning for another $400. You have to be careful about the banking here in the Philippines, no matter what. You do that in the States, somebody's going to get fired. You'll get your money back. You fight the battle, you'll eventually get it. Fighting the battles here, you may not find that that's going to be easy for you. People say, why sometimes do you get upset? Well, I get upset because these things happen because it's where I live, and it's the environment I'm in. And it would upset anybody when you have things like that happen to you, right? So how long was I sour? Oh, I don't know. I was sour for 3 or 4 days, but it's okay. I get over it. And I'm not sour about it anymore because it's okay. It's going to happen. So I learned just let it, like a duck, I just let it roll off my back and everything's fine. But then on the other hand, the next thing happens, and the next thing happens, that what it is you lose control here when you're outside the United States. You have no control over anything. You have no control over the Bureau of Immigration. You have no control over your visas. You have no control over anything that you have. The only control you have is of you personally. In the States, you have control over almost all actions in your life. I should do a video on that. Maybe I will. God bless everybody, and thank you so much for always watching my channel.